So the Dallas Cowboys continue to roll. They improve with their 9th straight win. This one over Baltimore by 10. Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott pacing the way in that one as well. We take you now to the contest between Tennessee and Indianapolis. Tennessee has won 2 of the last 3 games, but the Colts have won 10 straight against them. Colts lead it by a touchdown, 129 and counting in regulation. Let's join the announcers there, Spiro Dedes and Solomon Wilcox.
It jumped out to a 21-0 lead, and then Tennessee stormed back, cut it to 7. But, that is the closest they got. The drive just a couple of minutes ago stalling. And this Indianapolis Colts team that has been so uneven this season. Solomon started 0-2. They will win back-to-back games for the first time this season.
And that drive stalled because, how about this? The Titans are unable to convert a 4th and 1, giving the ball to DeMarco Murray. I thought it was spotted perfectly. He just did not get it. Couldn't break the tackle from Clayton Gathers to convert. And they turned the ball over on downs. And that's where we are right now, as the Colts are looking to run out the clock.
And that AFC South getting a little bit tighter as the Colts leapfrog Tennessee into 2nd place. Houston, of course, will play tomorrow night in Mexico City against Oakland. And the Colts' mastery over Tennessee continues. 11 straight wins in the head-to-head series. They have never beaten Andrew Luck.
Can't say enough about the Colts' run defense, holding the Tennessee Titans to under 100 yards rushing in the game. They did a wonderful job, and so did Andrew Luck, leading this offense to scores on their first 3 possessions of the game.
Special thanks to our fantastic crew, our producer Ryan Galvin, Andy Goldberg, our director, RAV Alana Campbell, Scott Martin, Ryan Pavlicek, and up here in the booth, our statistician Russ DeLynn, and BJ Casserly, our spotter. Now for Solomon Wilcox, Spiro Dedes saying so long from Indianapolis. 24-17, Colts win it. Back to New York after this.
All right, so back here in Studio 43, where we have seen the Indianapolis Colts win it 24-17 over the Tennessee Titans, continuing their mastery over Tennessee. As a matter of fact, the Colts have won 9 straight at home against Tennessee, making it 11 straight overall in that one, Coach.
You know, I think you look at it, Indianapolis jumped out to a 21-0 lead. But I'll tell you, Tennessee showed a lot of grit in this. They came back, Marcus Mariota in the 2nd half. They fell short in this game. And, you know, until they beat the teams in their division, Mike Mularkey said it during the week, they have got to get over that hump right now. They cannot win these divisional games.
Well, Tony, I know that was your matchup, Tony, as you take a look at that game as well, too.
Yeah, and I think somebody who stood out and actually played really well tonight. Actually, he always does. Andrew Luck. You know, he's the best quarterback in that division. I think he showed that today.
Last play of the game as we're looking live here. Hail Mary attempt. Off.
In perfect Blake Bortles fashion. It ends in the perfect Blake Bortles way. An interception. Again, this week, he threw an interception for a touchdown. Until he learns to protect the football in that situation, of course, he can't help it. He's going for the win.
Boom. We talked about Detroit.
Yep.
We got them on Thursday. Again, this is their, I think, their 4th win in the last 5 games.
Yeah, big thing for them now is that they have Minnesota coming to them on Thanksgiving right here on CBS. And, you know, Minnesota wins today by beating Arizona. So you have a huge showdown on Thanksgiving right here on CBS between those 2 teams. And, you know, Detroit took care of business. As his coach was pointing out when we were sitting there watching, he goes, you know, they need to be in the trailing in the 4th quarter. Yeah. And they were trailing in the 4th quarter. They came back and they ended up winning the game.
I tell you what, but once again, you know, they're flirting with danger because they didn't even run for, I believe, 50 yards.
I know, but they won. That's all that cares. They won, man. That's all that matters.
How about the Dallas Cowboys, though, guys? I mean, that team is rolling right now with those 2 young
Dallas,
stars, with the running back. Right? They're going to be tough to beat down the stretch with the offense. Am I right?
They impose themselves on you, and they showed it today. That was an impressive win today, especially after last week.
Back with more here in Studio 43 after this. And welcome back to the NFL Today update here in New York. James Brown with the full house here. Of course, that would be Tony, Coach Bart, and Boomer. As we get you caught up on all of the early action, starting with the highlight.
Hey, guys, how about Dak Prescott on the day? 27 of 36, 301 yards, and 3 touchdown passes. And Tony Romo was in uniform on the sideline today. This kid is invincible, man. He can do everything And I'll tell you what, you talk about an impressive second half. That's exactly what the Dallas Cowboys showed. You see Ezekiel Elliott held under 100 yards. But I'll tell you what a game by Dak Prescott.
Indeed, 27 of 36, 301 yards and 3 touches. After the game, it was Dak talking with our Evan Washburn.
Well, Dak, a team record 9 straight win. It was a grind early. What was the difference in the second half that allowed you guys to gain some momentum offensively?
Yeah, we just settled in. We knew what they're going to throw at us at that point. It was like you said, it was a little rough early on, but we stayed at it. We stayed at it, and that offensive line and that guy, the receivers we got, it was great. It was a great win.
Well, Dak's going to have to wear right ear.
I tell you what,
right?
that is so refreshing to see. I'll tell you, up in Cleveland, it was all about the defense of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here you're going to see Ryan Shazier going to strip right there, Josh McCown. Jason Hargrove falls on it. The defense had 8 sacks. Le'Veon Bell had 146 yards. Pittsburgh won handily, 24-9. Again, Cody Kessler was taken out of that game. He got hit early in the game. Josh McCown finished up. Again, Ben Roethlisberger, no big numbers. They just did not turn the football over. It was a very solid performance right there by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Really.
You know how many times guys came unblocked against the Cleveland Browns? It was unbelievable. I don't know who is coordinating that offense, but it is uncoordinated right now. And if you are playing quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, you should be paid double, maybe even triple. It's a disgrace.
Seems like they go through 1 or 2 quarterbacks
Dude, it's
a game.
a disgrace.
All right, so for those of you who are watching the Jacksonville at Detroit contest, Detroit wins it 26-19. Detroit improves to 6-4 in that tight NFC North with Minnesota right on their heels.
Coach, you got to believe it's brutal.
Talking about gritty, Buffalo at Cincinnati, LaShawn McCoy is going to take the handoff for 7 yards and go 1 touch. He got injured on the day, hurt his hand, didn't come back, but Mike Gillisley had 72 yards. Tyrod Taylor added 40 yards. You know, it's a nice gritty win. You know, it wasn't pretty, but it was a Buffalo win, and it keeps them alive with
Bengals hit the snooze button in the second half.
All right, Buccaneers in Arrowhead. You can see Jameis Winston. He's going to drop back and hit Alan Cross for the touchdown to 3 yards out, 19-10 at that point with the Bucks. Bucks go on to win this game. Kansas City, that's a tough one to lose at home. But Jameis Winston played well. No picks for him in this game. Titans at the Colts. You see Andrew Luck drop back. He's going to hit T.Y. Hilton. This was on 4th and goal to tell you. And he makes a spectacular catch. Indy would go on to Indy would go on to win this game 24-17. Andrew Luck played outstanding, did have the 1 pick. But just a great overall effort by the Indianapolis Colts.
Jacksonville at Detroit. Eric Ebron, the tight end, Tone's going to take the handoff in for the 1-yard score to take the lead. The Lions win 23-19. But I tell you what, you talk about rushing yards. They really didn't rush for much yards. I think they rushed for 6 yards on the day, but a win's a win, and it sets up a tremendous matchup against Minnesota this week.
On Thanksgiving, baby, and here is Minnesota and the Cardinals. How about this? Minnesota's got returns all over the place. This is Cordero Patterson, 103 yards for a kickoff return. Remember, prior to this, they had a Xavier Rhodes, I think it was a 94 or 5-yard interception return for a touchdown. So 14 points for the Minnesota Vikings scored on returns. They go on to win 30-24. That's a huge win for the Vikings. They stem their losing streak. They are now 6-4.
Bart, you got to get over it. Yes, Detroit won. They had 6 yards rushing. Right now, Jay Cutler right here. Watch him. He's going to get picked off. This is the last-ditch effort right here. 2nd and 29. Landon Collins, 4th straight game with an interception.
Wow.
Defense had 4 sacks, and the New York Giants pull out a 22-16 win, and they now move to 7-3.
4 sacks in the second half, and they shut out the Bears in the second half. Eli and his offense couldn't do anything in the 4th quarter. That Giant defense, just like it came out Monday night against the Cincinnati Bengals, really played well.
You said we were watching Vernon Olivier. He may not have,
Olivier Vernon.
Olivier Vernon. He may not have the numbers, but that guy is relentless pass rusher. Him and JPP, they were all over that field today.
But I'm telling you, Landon Collins, I mean, we're watching something special. This guy is on an all-pro course. You talk about his last 4 games, his interceptions, his impact on the game. He's really patrolling the middle of that field and really helping that defense out, allowing them to put that 8-man in the box or 7-man box and stop the run. You talk about all the money that was put in the defensive line this year.
Coming up in the second half of our day, the doubleheader, it'll be Philadelphia at Seattle. Coach, that'll be a game you'll be watching closely. Talk about that matchup.
Well, there's Russell Wilson. I mean, look at this guy. He's getting healthy right now. And then what's the one thing you're seeing evident? He's able to get out of the pocket. And I think this guy out of the pocket is one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League.
Carson Wentz for you, another rookie, getting a tough spot today against the Seattle defense and the noise there. Think about Russell Wilson. He is one of the best second half of the season quarterbacks in the NFL over the last 4 years, and one of the reasons for that, Jimmy Grant is finally healthy and playing as good as ever.
And when you got him going, that opens everything up for everybody else. And over there on the defensive side of the ball, you see Richard Sherman.
Center.
He is the guy who sets the tone and gets that defense going. He's part of that Legion of Boom defense. And like you said before, they turn it on offense, and they turn it on defense this time of year.
Bart, our other game, of course, will be the matchup in San Francisco, New England at San Fran.
Yes.
I know we said Coach Belichick likes to create a little air of anxiety, but
I tell you what, Tom Terrific is going to be on point. Kaepernick is going to be heavy lifting for him. He's going to have to use his legs and try and extend plays and take shots down the field.
I'm really interested to see how New England plays defensively in this game. No pass rush whatsoever. Last week against Seattle, no Jabal Shear. They left them behind.
No Rob Gronkowski as well.
That's right. So, listen, if you're going to beat the New England Patriots, maybe now's the time to do it.
Well, I'm not saying it's going to happen. Heavy coverage.
So the table has been set. Enjoy the game.
Tony, did you really think I thought that was going to happen?
CBS Sports thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League.
It's just starting to rain here in Seattle as we get set for the Philadelphia Eagles and the Seattle Seahawks. The Eagles in that division, the NFC East, everyone with a winning record, and the Cowboys and Giants already victorious today, while Seattle on top of the standings in the NFC West at 6-2-1. And hello, friends. Jim Nantz along with Bill Sims and Tracy Wolfson. The Seahawks come in here off a most impressive win at New England last Sunday night. How do you think they'll be emotionally today?
Oh, that's an answer you already know. Our question you already know the answer to. They are always emotional. We saw them in practice on Friday, so they don't have a letdown. And what you got to do when you play against this team here, Carson Wentz, rookie quarterback, don't let that first 5 minutes get away from you. Be careful, especially on the offensive side.
This game is being broadcast in Spanish. We're available using the SAP button on your television. Philadelphia, Seattle, coming up on CBS. Just seconds away from kickoff here in Seattle, the Eagles and the Seahawks. And let's take it down to the field. Tracy Wolfson standing by. Tracy?
Thanks a lot, Jim. 2 new challenges for Carson Wentz. Not only does he have to deal with the loudest environment he's ever been a part of, but he's got to deal with some rain. He has never played in a wet weather game, and it is coming down right now. He did practice with some wet footballs. He did try and use a glove during practice as well. He didn't warm up with one, though. So how he handles this environment in this weather remains to be seen, Jim.
All right, Tracy, we are not going to see Wentz on the field at first. The Eagles deferred after taking the toss, and Caleb Sturgis will be sending it down.